There are some days where I don't really have anything that I want to talk about. The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. When you start a podcast, you are expected to talk. Well, some days, I don't really have anything that I want to talk about. I don't care what you do. I don't care what choice you make. I don't care where you are at in life. I don't care. I don't care who you choose to be with. I don't care whether you're happy or not. And some days, I care a lot. Today is just one of those days where I don't want to save the world. I don't even want to save myself. I want to self-soothe with a silly show and a bag of chips. But I am foregoing the bag of chips because I will feel miserable if I eat a whole bag of chips. I kicked the animals out of the house because so often when I record a podcast, I have a cat and a dog who want attention immediately when I sit down to record. The dog is upset and fidgeting. The cat is irritated and clawing on things. Right now, they're outside, so I can sit here in peace for just a few minutes and record this episode. If you think about it, though, it's really not easy to have a podcast. It's not easy to continue to come up with scenarios and things to talk about. And like I said, care about. Some days, I don't care about anything. I don't have anything of value to say. I could talk about crazy conspiracy theories, but I don't care about those because they're conspiracy theories. I could talk about everyone wearing this tan, bland linen to the U.S. Open finals. What is up with that for fall? Why is some colorless beige what everybody's wearing right now? It looked like everyone was wearing a gunny sack. I could talk about organizing your kitchen, but I don't care. Some people just refuse to organize anything, and it drives me crazy. Why would you make your life more difficult than it needs to be? But you know what? I don't care. I could be out cleaning my car right now, but I just don't care. I don't want to spend time cleaning out my car. Who enjoys that and why? I don't understand. Never, ever is cleaning out my car going to be at the top of my priority list. I could talk about how my search for love is going. At this point, I'm basically praying, dear Lord Jesus, let this be over sometime soon. I could talk about how my dog's grooming appointment was canceled this morning, right as I was getting ready to leave. And I just let it roll off of me like no big deal. I don't care. I don't care if he doesn't get a haircut. I could talk about how it's already September, and in 2 months it's going to be Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is going to be here, and then the end of the year, and then the new year. Where does the time go? Why does time go so fast anymore? There is a lot of talk right now about the lunar eclipse that happened yesterday. I myself did not notice a significant shift in my energy. I didn't notice a surge in emotions. I didn't notice any feelings within me that were needing to be released. There is a solar eclipse here on the 21st. If you follow that kind of stuff. But if you don't, okay. I noticed that the MTV Video Music Awards were last night. And I found that interesting that I have zero interest anymore in any award shows. When I was young and growing up, we used to watch all of those award programs. Everybody was dressed so beautifully. It was this formal presentation, and there was a feeling of elegance and a feeling of people actually being recognized. But now we know the real truth behind so many of those award programs, that it's not based on who should win, that a lot of times it's based on politics, and they're behind the scenes, and they're scheming, and they're manipulating, and they're doing and saying horrible things. And so I find it interesting now that I have zero desire to even pay attention to any of those. I could talk about journaling and how this would be a really important time to journal, to notice what is coming up within me around the eclipses. But I don't care. I don't care. I did go out Saturday night with a couple of friends. We went to this local restaurant and they were having live music. And it's always interesting to see who shows up to those type of events. It's always curious to know if people that we know will show up or if it's going to be a lot of strangers. There was one person from our past who showed up. He was actually a senior when we were freshmen in high school. And when you're a freshman and you see these older classmen and you kind of romanticize them because they're older, they're more mature. There were a lot of men in that grade that were actually very nice looking. And he was one of them. And it was interesting now that we're 35 years older and the rose-colored glasses are off. And it's almost comical now when we look at, how giggly we were and how excited we were and how cute we thought he was. And now, there's some things that you realize they're meant to stay in the past. They're meant to be this cute, funny memory because being a 15-year-old girl, I didn't really know life and I didn't really have any parameters or expectations or anything. And now looking at him, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but there's just no way. The rose-colored glasses are off. He's not cute anymore. He's not something to idolize. He's just another guy. It's hard some days when I turn the record button on and I have the mic in front of me. It's difficult to always find something that I want to share, that I want to talk about. And oftentimes my topics come from my own personal experiences and interactions. And like I said early on, some days I'm extremely passionate about living with intention and doing things that feel like they are improving my life. And then there are days like today where I don't feel the need to actively do things to make things better. I don't care. I'm doing the minimum level of effort. I don't care. I guess I do care about one thing, and that is following my energy and what I feel or don't feel is necessary. Unlearning how to live life is a complicated process. Unlearning what I've been taught is complicated. Taking the advice of others when they don't know my circumstances isn't really a good idea. People haven't walked in my shoes. People haven't walked in your shoes. You need to make decisions that are best for you. Our intuition will often tell us the choice that we need to make. And we doubt it. We don't like it. And then we doubt it and we push it away and we ask our friends and we try to get a different answer. Most of the time in life, you know the decision that you need to make. You know the choice that you need to make. You know what direction you need to go in. You don't need to ask 10 different people to get answers. They don't know your story. They haven't walked in your shoes. They haven't felt your feelings. They haven't experienced your life. Today, I'm listening to that feeling inside of me. I'm probably going to go find a snuggly blanket. I'm going to let the granimals back in the house. And I'm going to continue to spend the day in this I don't really care attitude. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.